Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, back with another video for you guys. Today I'm starting off my series for reviewing every single MCU movie. We got Doomsday coming out within a year from now. It's now starting November, so I'm going to review every single Marvel movie in the MCU. Now, if obviously there's been movies that I have recently reviewed, so I probably won't do those movies, but I'll be starting from, like, obviously today I'm doing Iron Man. I will be doing Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, like obviously probably the first phase, the second phase, whatever I've done in the third phase, I'll probably be re-reviewing. We'll see how that goes. But I will be going through all these movies all over again. I've been really wanting to go back and dissect this series again. I just watched Iron Man 1. And I've been wanting to do it, man. Like, it's obviously the perfect time because we're leading into Doomsday. We obviously have Brave New World also coming out next year. Oh, excuse me. And there's certain movies that I missed. Obviously, I didn't do Thunderbolts, didn't do Fantastic Four, didn't do Brave New World. So I'm very excited to get through all these movies. Like I said, going into this year, going into next year, I will be reviewing all these MCU movies. So I hope you guys are ready for this ride. Like I said, if you guys are new to my channel, this is the first time you're seeing me, please hit that like button, please subscribe for more. And let's get into this video, you guys. Let's get it. Let's go. Like I said, this is my review for Iron Man. It came out 2008, directed by Jon Favreau, produced by Kevin Feige, starring Robert Downey Jr., Terrence Howard, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jon Favreau, Jeff Bridges, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the movie. Like I said, this movie came out 2008, and this was the start of it, man. This was the start of what we know now to be the MCU. And obviously when this movie came out, this movie was a gamble, man. We just within Marvel, before this movie, pre-Marvel, we had, Spider-Man, we had X-Men, we had other heroes like Daredevil, Elektra, Hulk, Punisher, Blade, and a lot of those movies are, at least at the time, were known characters. Now, no one really knew who Iron Man was. No one knew who Tony Stark was. And the fact that they took a gamble on making this character, this movie, the first movie of an expanded universe, they really took a gamble. And I'm kind of glad they did, because it makes sense to do an unknown character and make us really love him, make us really enjoy who this character is, and the story that they wanted to give us, because now we can trust them with doing other heroes. Like, obviously in the future they do Thor and Captain America and even Guardians. So the fact that they took a gamble on Iron Man for the first project, like I said, I'm kind of happy they did, man. Like I said, right off the bat, obviously, if you guys, I've ranked all these movies in my MCU. This is in my top 10 for all the MCU movies. I really do enjoy it. Like I said, it was a very good origin story. It gives us who Tony Stark is and how his arc changes over the movie. I think the characters really have good interactions with one another. I think the writing is pretty good. Jon Favreau did a really good job directing this movie. Like I said, he was not saying he was a gamble on directing this either, because he done some decent projects. He did Elf, and I think a couple years before this, he did Zathura. So he had the capability of doing such a massive project. But like, no one really knew who Jon Favreau was. I think this movie right here put him on the map to who he is. And he's obviously in the movie. He plays Happy Hogan. He's Tony Stark's driver. That's who he is in the movie. And I do like that he put himself in the movie. I think that's pretty dope. But like I said, right off the bat, I think Jon Favreau did a great job with the direction. Like I said, Kevin Feige knew exactly what he was doing when he picked him to direct this movie. And obviously, let's go ahead and get into the performances, man. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. If you guys didn't know his story, it's probably everyone mostly know. He was going through a lot of legal troubles, drug addiction, alcohol abuse. He had a troubling career starting out. He started getting a slight resurgence with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And then this movie happened, man. It's like, if you guys have watched his previous roles, he kind of is a little Tony Stark. Well, at least to a point. And I think now after this movie, more Tony Stark characters started acting more like how Robert Downey Jr. plays Tony Stark. But I think this role was perfect for him. When you talk about perfect casting, this casting was perfect, man. Like, he was built to play Tony Stark. The charisma, the snarkiness, just the line delivery, man. I think like I said, he was born to play this role, and obviously it made him a global superstar. Everyone knows who Robert Downey Jr. is. That's you know, that's why he's the guy, man. Like he really is the heart of the MCU, and I'm glad that he was the one to start this whole thing. Like he was started it and he ended the you know, the Infinity phase, and I think it was the perfect thing they've ever done. And out of all these movies was casting Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man / Tony Stark. Let's go ahead and get to the other performances. I think Gwyneth Paltrow, she's good in this movie. Not great. I think she gets better along the other movies that comes out. Like I said, Jon Favreau is decent for the little role he has. Terrence Howard, man, like, I don't want to go into the big debacle with Terrence Howard. We'll talk about him more in Iron Man 2 because obviously he doesn't come back in Iron Man 2. But I think he's fine in this movie. He gives a decent performance. Like I said, I'm a little upset that he didn't continue with the franchise. That's other reasons why he didn't come back. But I think he's good in this movie. Jeff Bridges, man. Jeff Bridges, he's hilarious in the movie. Obviously, he has the famous line that everyone comments on. I'm going to just put the clip and show you guys should know what I'm talking about.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
But, yeah, he's great in this movie as... I just watched the movie. I can't think of his name. But obviously as the bad guy in this movie. It's kind of spot on that he is the bad guy in this movie, that he sets Tony Stark up. Spoiler alert, if you guys have not seen this movie is over 15 years old. Yeah, man, it's just crazy. It's kind of like on the nose that he's the one that did it. I do like the format of the movie. Starts off with him being attacked, and then we go into flashback and we see leading up to that. I do like how they do that. Yeah, but to me... I guess my one critique with this movie is that the way it ends, it doesn't have a grand ending. Like, it kind of halts at some point. Like, we get the, you know, him becoming Iron Man, building this suit. He, you know, does one awesome thing where he takes down this village, and then it kind of slows down a little bit. Just slows down, and then we get to the third act. You know, but you could definitely tell they were planting seeds. Like, we obviously had Agent Coulson showing up, you know, talking about he's with S.H.I.E.L.D. and he needs to talk to Tony and talk to Pepper about something that's going on. And then, of course, we get the end credit scene with Nick Fury showing up saying, hey, I want to talk about the Avengers Initiative. When I saw that, bro, I was amazed. Now, it's funny because I didn't see this in theaters. I didn't watch this until I saw it on DVD. And somehow I was watching it and I was just talking with some friends. The credits was rolling, and then I remember this scene popped up, and I'm like, whoa! There's more to this movie. There's a post-credit scene, and of course, it's Tony Stark walking in, as Nick Fury standing there saying, "Hey, you're part of a big universe. You just don't know it yet." And of course, he's talking about the Avengers. Now, at that time, I remember calling my uncle saying, "Bro, they're talking about doing Avengers," and it was just mind blowing at the time that they were actually building to this. And I don't know if I wasn't really doing research and all this stuff, not knowing did they announce the other heroes. I'm sure they was going to do another Iron Man because this movie was successful. But I did not know that even when you watch Incredible Hulk, which I will be reviewing that next, who knew that movie was actually connected until we get the post-credit scene with Tony Stark showing up saying, hey, I'm putting a team together. It's like, wow, they are really doing this. It's pretty insane that this movie was already planting the seeds for something for a bigger universe. And of course, this movie had the work. If this movie did not work, we probably wouldn't be at the point we had today. And I'm thankful that it did. Like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I love the pacing. I love the characters. Robert Downey Jr. is an amazing as Tony Stark. I think he has great banter with the other characters. Him and Rhodey has great chemistry together. Him and Pepper, man, their scenes, man, it's like you could see they're playing this scene for them to be together, hands down. I think it's great. And yeah, like, shout out to Jon Favreau. He did a great job with the direction, with the way he was moving this film. I think he did a great job with it. I love the way it's shot. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Do I recommend it? Of course I recommend it. I'm going to say that about most of these Marvel movies. So, like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, man. Please subscribe for more reviews, more MCU reviews will be coming in the near future, you guys, man. It's going to be a long ride. I'm going to try to get these videos out as quick as possible because we have a lot to get through. But my goal is to try to review all these movies leading up into Doomsday, So obviously I've done all these other series. I reviewed the X-Men series, the Harry Potter series. I've done Mission Impossible, Fast and the Furious. I'm trying to, I've done Transformers. So I'm trying to, add more. Even though I've reviewed some of these movies before, I want to redo it because I feel like I've gotten better at reviewing, and my format's better, you know, and stuff like that, and my quality is better. So, like I said, I hope you guys are ready for this. Like I said, please hit that like button, please subscribe for more, and I'm on this one, you guys. Peace out.